read the next question. Which of the following are the advantages of GMO, genetically modified organisms, GMO? It makes crop more tolerant to abiotic stresses. It reduces the reliance on chemical pesticides. It results in the stability of ecosystem. Now, viewing this question, we feel all the statements are correct here. How? Because it reduces the reliance on chemical pesticides. It makes crop more tolerant. That is what the purpose of GMO is. It results in the stability of ecosystem. Really? Will it result in a stability of the ecosystem? Let's have a look at this. See, genetically modified organisms or GMO, plants, bacteria, fungi and animals whose genes have been altered by manipulation. The gene level alteration or change or modification is done in the gene level, not as we have seen in horticultural techniques like grafting and budding. Those are not genetic techniques, those are just external techniques which is a physical thing which we can do without a laboratory condition. Now this kind of genetically modified is done under genetic level, where the gene is altered. The chromosome, inside chromosome we have genes as an identity, part of it is an identity part actually. That gene is altered. So plants, bacteria, fungi and animals, everyone whose genes have been altered by manipulation are called genetically modified organisms. What are the advantages? We have seen like BT cotton, BT brinjal, where mustard is there, and Monsanto Corp GM mustard is very controversial thing where environmental activists have been protesting, continuously protesting against the introduction of this GM mustard. Now why? Let's see that. So advantages are make crop more tolerant to abiotic stresses like cold, drought, salt, heat, etc. Salt means salinity. Reduce reliance on chemical pesticides. Yes, because these plants will be already inbuilt. They have inbuilt resistance against pests and insects, etc. They cannot consume, these insects and pests cannot consume the plant because they will die. It will be poisonous to them. So that is why that is how they modify the plant accordingly. Help to reduce post harvest losses. Yes, it can have a longer shelf life, which will lead to very less loss after the harvest. Increased efficiency of mineral usage by plants. Increased efficiency, how they assimilate minerals from the soil, from the water body, etc. How they assimilate the minerals from the fertilizer we give, etc. So those efficiency will be increased. Enhanced nutritional value of food. So hence, after all the above advantages, ultimately what we have? Advanced quality of food, advanced nutritional value of food, vitamin A enriched. So we can particularly alter the genes according to our needs. Like some modification is done to have a pest resistance, some modification will be done to have weed resistance, some modification will be done to have a good nutritional value, etc. So accordingly, if all these qualities are incorporated in genetic editing, then it can have a very high good variety of genetically modified organisms. That is what the whole concept. Now, the disadvantage part. Genetic modification of organism can have unpredictable results when such organisms are introduced into the ecosystem. Now, what is it? So we are modifying something which was not naturally obtained or which was not naturally present there. Till now, mustard was cultivated, pests used to attack it. So, feeding on the mustard, many pests or insects used to live and that complete the biological cycle. So, many other organisms will be dependent on the pest which feeds on the mustard. So, that organisms will be harmed if this GM mustard is introduced. If this GM mustard or GM cotton or whatever is introduced, whatever genetically modified organism introduced, the resultant effect on the ecosystem will be different. So, the insects, the organisms depending on this, usually which used to depend on this, will have an adverse effect. Then organisms which are related to these organisms will be in adverse effect. So it will result in an imbalance of the ecological cycle. So that is what environmental activists say. The GM mustard, if why they are against the Monsanto Corporation for the introduction of GM mustard, because the weeds will create an imbalance, right? See, if we plant this GM mustard, then it will have adverse effects. It will have a multi-drug resistant kind of a characteristic. Other weeds, other pests who depend on this will develop this resistance to this GMO, which will increase again so that the pest cannot be controlled. So it will increase in the population of pests or insects, etc. So anyway, it will cause imbalance in the ecosystem. That is a true statement actually. Some plants, organisms being resistant to a particular kind of Another crop organism pest results in extinction of the later. That is what the whole concept is about. So solving the question 1 and 2 is correct. Yes, abiotic stresses can be easily tolerant. Then it reduces the reliance on chemical pesticide. We don't need to use chemical pesticide because it's already pest resistant. Then it results in the stability of ecosystem. That is wrong. It results in imbalances in the ecosystem. So the answer becomes 1 and 2.